On a calm November morning in Seoul, a modest headline began circulating across Korean news portals. BTS's Jimin continues quiet donations to support education and children in need. The story at first appeared simple, almost understated. There was no elaborate press release, no scheduled media event, and no personal statement from Jimin or his agency. Instead, the information was confirmed through a short note published by a local educational foundation, one that had occasionally received anonymous contributions over the past few years. Only when the foundation verified the donor's identity did the news begin to ripple across Korean media. What started as a short report soon expanded into a broader conversation. Why does Jimin keep giving so quietly, even after returning from the military and resuming a schedule that is already overwhelming? This question would form the heart of a much deeper examination of Jimin's values, his evolving relationship with philanthropy, and the legacy he is building beyond the global fame of BTS. Jimin's charitable efforts did not begin in 2025. The foundations of his giving were laid years earlier, long before BTS became a cultural force with millions of fans around the world. Those close to him have often described Jimin as someone who believes that kindness should be practiced quietly. Even when BTS's influence surged and their charitable activities gained global attention, Jimin remained consistent in his preference for private giving. In 2019, he donated uniforms for students in his native Busan. In 2020, he supported education programs for marginalized youth. In 2021 and 2022, multiple schools confirmed receiving funds for maintenance, arts programs, and technology improvements. Yet at every step, the reports emerged not because Jimin sought recognition, but because institutions were required to disclose major donations for legal transparency. By 2025, Jimin had developed a reputation not only as an artist of exceptional talent, but also as a philanthropist with an unusually gentle and sincere approach. People who follow Jimin's public journey know that education has always held a special meaning for him. As the son of a family that valued discipline, learning, and self-improvement, Jimin's upbringing shaped his worldview in profound ways. Friends from his school days in Busan often recall how Jimin balanced school life with his commitment to dance, a commitment so intense that it eventually led him to audition for big hit entertainment, shaping the future that millions would later witness. Despite his success, Jimin has frequently spoken about the importance of having opportunities, mentors, and the means to pursue one's dreams. For him, education is not merely a system, it is a gateway. This is why so many of his philanthropic projects revolve around scholarships, school infrastructure support, cultural programs, and children who dream beyond their circumstances. When asked why he chooses to support students, Jimin once replied in an interview, "I was helped by many people when I was young. I want someone else to feel that support too." The November 2025 report highlighted a donation to several educational institutions, including a youth development center in Jeonbuk and an after-school arts program in Gyeonggi Province. According to staff members interviewed by local media, the contribution arrived quietly, without ceremony. Initially, administrators did not know the identity of the donor. Only after reviewing administrative documents did they discover Jimin's name. The foundation's spokesperson noted, "There was no message attached. No instructions for publicity, just a clear desire to help children continue their education." These statements resonated deeply with fans and the general public, reinforcing a perception that has followed Jimin for years. His kindness operates independently of visibility. Once the news spread beyond Korean outlets and reached international platforms, ARMY around the world reacted with warmth and admiration. But unlike the frenzy that usually follows big celebrity-related news, the tone this time was calm and reflective. Fans created threads compiling Jimin's past charitable efforts, emphasizing how consistently he has supported education since his early 20s. Many expressed how inspiring it was to see an artist maintain values that remained unchanged despite unprecedented fame. The hashtags that trended, #Jimin, #ParkJimin, and #Sapsain Jimin, were filled with sentiments of pride, gratitude, and quiet admiration. Rather than being celebrated as a grand gesture, Jimin's donation was viewed as a continuation of something already deeply embedded in his character. Humility has always been one of Jimin's most recognized traits. Even in BTS's most explosive eras, the record-breaking tours, the historic speeches at the UN, the multi-million sales, he often remained soft-spoken, choosing his words carefully and treating each achievement with grounded sincerity. When BTS received major awards, Jimin was often the member who bowed the deepest. When fans gave him praise, he redirected the gratitude back toward the team. When he succeeded, he thanked those around him first. This humility naturally extended into his philanthropy. Jimin never announced contributions himself, nor did he position his charity as a major part of his public image. Instead, it became known gradually, quietly, through confirmed records. The November 2025 donation reaffirmed that this pattern had not changed. Even after completing military service, a period that often transforms public figures, Jimin's approach remained steady. Returning from military service is a complex experience for any public figure in South Korea. The shift from regimental discipline back into an entertainment career can be difficult, especially for individuals who lived high-profile lives before enlistment. For Jimin, the transition involved multiple layers: reconnecting with fans, preparing for BTS's long-awaited group comeback, returning to vocal training, adjusting physically and mentally, and rebuilding daily habits after rigorous military routines. Yet, even amidst this demanding period, his charitable work continued. Close acquaintances reportedly noted that Jimin had spent much of his military downtime reflecting on life, purpose, and the future. While he rarely spoke publicly about these reflections, his actions, such as continuing donations during his service, hinted at a clear internal compass. Behind every donation, there are stories of individuals whose lives are changed, often without them ever meeting the person who helped them. At the Jiunbuk Youth Support Center, Jimin's November contribution helped fund tutoring materials, winter clothing for disadvantaged children, and a creative arts program that had been at risk of cancellation due to budget cuts that a teacher at the center described the impact. What he gave allowed us to continue running programs that encourage self-expression and emotional healing. For many of these children, art is a rare space of freedom. Meanwhile, the arts program in Gyeonggi Province used the funds to expand access to dance and music lessons, areas that Jimin has always championed. For Jimin, supporting children through arts education is particularly meaningful, given how dance shaped his life and career. In the modern entertainment industry, many celebrities promote their philanthropic efforts as part of their brand identity. Doing so provides awareness, mobilizes public support, and often inspires fans to donate as well. However, Jimin has long chosen a different path. By avoiding publicity, he creates a boundary between personal compassion and public expectation. He does not treat charity as content, nor does he embed it in his public persona as a marketing point. This approach is rare, and perhaps even risky, in a world where public figures are encouraged to be transparent about their impact. Yet it is precisely this quietness that makes Jimin's actions feel deeply authentic. The November 2025 donation became a reminder that not all generosity needs a spotlight.